What's good, y'all? I'm excited to drop another video because it's been a minute since my last one. I think like a month or maybe like a little longer than that once I actually dropped this. But I've been super busy. I have been coaching, which I just finished a few weeks ago. I actually just dropped my new book, which is called A New Journey, Starting College Strong. I will definitely put the link in the description, and I'll probably put a picture like somewhere around here. Really excited about that. It took me a little while to make it. It's really just more in depth about a lot of the stuff that I've talked about on my channel so far, just about like college, preparing, like the whole nine. Social stuff, teachers, relationships, classes, things you're gonna need when you go to college, all that type of stuff I talk about in the video. In the book. I also, fortunately, got accepted to Boston's EMSSP program, which stands for Early Medical School Selection Program. So I am actually here in Boston, and I might drop another video just kind of like about Boston's campus and like find my way around and just like the city and everything. But, more on that later. So for today's video, I looked up basically some of the most asked questions by incoming freshmen, just about like literally anything. So I'm just going to be giving you guys my personal take on those questions. Also, peep the glasses, had to get them, couldn't read anymore. It's kind of a struggle, seeing as I'm trying to be a doctor. Let's get into the video. Alrighty, so the first question that I'm gonna answer was, what's the best way to put myself out there / meet new people? So I guess I'm gonna address this from two points of views. So if you're introverted like me, I don't really talk to people just like naturally unless I have a reason to. You have to find what you enjoy doing and then find people through that. So for me, like I said, don't talk that much naturally, but I really love basketball. Like I literally play basketball whenever I can. And so the first week of pre-college at Hampton, I literally went to the court. And all 4 of my best friends at Hampton I met through playing basketball. We were literally playing one day, and then we were all going to eat because the caf closed soon. So I was just like, yo, you were kind of decent, like you want to go get some meat? And they were like, bet. And now we're best friends. So that would be my advice, is for introverts, do what you love and then just make friends doing that. You're gonna have to get over your shyness a little bit and really just talk to people. For extroverts, it's not really gonna be a problem for you. Just go out, talk to people. I guess one tip that I would give would be, at least for me, it's easier when I know where somebody's gonna be. I'm not like spontaneous like that. So people that you're gonna have class with, or if you see somebody, I don't know, getting coffee every morning or something like that, talk to them, make conversation about something you guys have in common. So number 2 was basically, what are the best clubs for me to join? And I actually talk about this in my book. It depends on who you are and what you want to do, because every club is going to have and offer different things. So for me, I want to be a doctor. Obviously, it's really important for people who want to go, that have a lot of schooling left, to make connections to people who can get you things that you wouldn't be able to get by yourself. So in that case, you want to do something that did a lot of things with professional development, got you a lot of exposure to people who are in the field already, that had a lot of guest speakers and stuff like that. That'd be something more that you want to do. For some people, you might be looking for something where you get a lot of volunteer hours. For some people, you might be looking to just have fun. So really, it depends on, you have to figure out what you want out of the club and what you need out of the club, and then find a club based on those criteria. Alrighty, number 3, will I be able to balance a job with my class load? So I didn't actually work. I haven't worked while I was in college, but I have had a couple of friends that have done it. And from their experience, I would say don't do it your first semester. If you can wait your first year, that's going to be a good kind of like test to see, because you really don't know, depending on your major, depending on the school you go to, depending on other responsibilities that you have, you might not have the time or the mental energy to do both. So it's definitely doable, because there are lots of people who do it. But my advice would be to just wait at least a semester to figure out if that's possible for you to do. Okay, so the next question is, am I disadvantaged if I'm undecided? I was reading an article somewhere, and I think it said close to 70% of students either end up changing their major or are undecided, like throughout their 4-year time in college. So first of all, you're definitely not alone. Are you disadvantaged? Depends on how long you stay undecided, what college you go to, and what major you end up choosing. So most colleges have like just general courses that pretty much everybody has to take regardless of your major. So like English 101, usually there are 2 semesters of English everybody has to take. Basic math courses unless you took AP, like calculus and pre-calculus. In high school, there are maybe some science courses that people have to take. So basically my answer is, if you can figure out within hopefully the first semester, then it's not really a problem. But when you start spending a year and additional semesters, then it does put you behind, because after the first year or 2, depending on your major and what college you go to, you start getting like a fine focus in that major. And so general courses aren't going to help you anymore, and they're just going to be wasting time and money. My recommendation would be, if you really like have no clue what you want to do, take a gap semester, take a gap year, take some time to figure it out, because there's no point. I think most schools, if you're lucky and you go in-state, might be like $20,000 a year, but most schools are way more expensive than that, and there's no point wasting the money if you're not sure what you want to do yet. So to answer the question, no, if you do it quickly. The next question, is the freshman 15 real? It is very real. There are people who have gained the freshman 15, the freshman 30, and the freshman 45.
Dang, that's tough.
The key to really anything is self-control and awareness. So if you're used to your parents cooking for you, a coach telling you when you need to come exercise, when you need to come lift, then yes, the freshman 15 is going to be very real for you. If you're somebody who naturally, like, you're trying to eat healthy, not necessarily like counting carbs and stuff like that, but you're aware of like, oh, I've been eating a lot of junk food recently, let me get some fruits, let me get some vegetables, let me cook something healthy, and you exercise, you know how to exercise properly, and have like a balanced kind of life, then you're good. College might be more difficult just in the fact that you have more freedom and there are more temptations, food and health-wise, but you're the person that does not need to worry. It's the people who don't really know how to manage themselves that are gonna have to worry about the freshman 15. The next question, what to do if I'm failing? So I guess this would depend on really when, and again, I talk about this in my book as well. This really depends on how early or how late you are in the semester. So as most of you guys know, there's an add and drop period and then a withdrawal period as well. If you're in the add or drop period, you can basically drop a class and it doesn't show up on your transcript. But that's usually within the first couple of weeks, so you'd have to be failing pretty early to do that. Withdrawal is basically after the add drop period, you can leave the class and the only thing that shows up on your transcript is withdrawal passing, WP, or withdrawal failing, WF, but it does not factor in your GPA. I would say though, before you get to that point, I would talk to my professor and see like what the issue is, how likely you are to bring your grade up, like how many tests you have left, how many quizzes, what kind of things and grades you would need to get your grade where you want it, and then where you're going wrong in your studying or your note taking, just to see if it's even possible for you to get that grade up. So I would start there, talk to your professor, figure out what you can do, and then after that, if that's not the case, talk to your advisor and then either withdraw or drop the class. All right, so on to the next question. How do I deal with a bad roommate? If you can avoid this, honestly, I would be very proactive in picking a roommate. I already made a video on that. But really, the takeaway lesson here is you don't want to have a bad roommate. Sometimes things are out of your control, but do everything that you can possibly do to have a good roommate, because it will have a very large impact on whether you enjoy or don't enjoy your freshman year. But if you're already in the situation and you do have a bad roommate, my suggestion would be to limit arguments by setting boundaries if they're willing to communicate. Setting boundaries like, okay, you keep your stuff on this side, I'll keep my stuff on my side. General like curfew rules, if that makes sense, kind of like I go to sleep early, so I don't really care when you stay out, but if you come back, just like be quiet, like those types of things. If you can set boundaries ahead of time and get the other person to agree on it, it can limit the clashing, I guess. But really, you just want to get a good roommate. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch how to pick a good roommate and then do that. The next one, what should I bring to college? So there are literally like probably legitimately 1 million videos on YouTube about this, and probably a million more articles that you can go read if you really want an in-depth like analysis of what you should bring. And I'll also talk about this in my book. I would say just some general things that you're probably gonna need anywhere you go would be bug spray. I would definitely bring bug spray, unless I guess you're in a really cold place. I would bring weather appropriate clothes just for wherever you're going. No, like, I know Hampton, I thought it was just kind of like warm most of the time. Obviously they'd have a winter, but it wouldn't be that bad. And it would literally get to like 20 degrees real feel, 10 degrees real feel. So I was not fully prepared to start, but that would be my recommendation. Weather appropriate clothes. I would definitely bring a fan/heater, because air conditioning and heating in dorms is not usually the best. And then I guess just for another one, I would say organization bins, just because they usually give you like one closet and a couple of bins to put all your clothes in, and that's usually not enough. So those would be my like 4 super important ones. But like I said, if you want more information, you can YouTube like a million other videos. Let's see, number 9. How can I get straight A's?
Good luck with that.
So I'm just gonna tell you straight up, like I was a good student in college. I mean, in high school, I had pretty much straight A's almost. And I anticipated being able to do the exact same thing in college. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying if you have a STEM major or any major that's like semi-difficult, it's unlikely that you're going to get all A's. So be okay with mistakes. Obviously try your best. I'm not saying shoot for anything less than what you think you can get, but don't beat yourself up if you don't get straight A's, because you will run into a professor or a test that was just not for you. And that's just how that's going to be. But I think to the general question of how to get good grades, I think being proactive instead of reactive is really important. You need to take notes and study really early on so that you don't dig yourself in a hole that you're trying to essentially dig yourself out of for the rest of the semester. So start strong and take notes. I would also say talk to the professor. A lot of people like really sleep on this, but I've had grades go from like a B+ to an A, which is like a 4-point difference, because I was like always in the professor's ear. I was there during office hours. Like I was always, like when they see that you're trying and that you really care about your grade, they'll be willing to help you. So office hours, being proactive, and like I said, being okay with your best. If the grade doesn't come out as an A and you did everything you can do, it didn't come out of the name.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's just what it is. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully learned something from what I said today. If you did enjoy and you did like what I said, be sure to like it and then subscribe. And last but not least, be sure to check out that book I'm gonna leave in the description. If you go on Amazon, it's on Amazon and Kindle. You can get it, at least a part of it, for free. So at the very least, check that out. See if you can get anything from that. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.